Since Russia invaded Ukraine, the United States has been living under the threat of a cyber attack in response to the United States helping Ukraine. The United States passed a bill called the Cyber Incident Reporting for Critical Infrastructure Act of 2022 to make it mandatory for certain organizations to report cyber incidents. So if you could vote on this policy directly, would you vote for it or against it? If you're new to my content, One Direct Democracy is a movement for upgrading the global democratic system by taking power away from politicians and putting it in the hands of the people by using direct democracy. It'll also eliminate left and right-wing politics. I've created the technology and a specific plan for how to make it happen. If you want more information, check out the links in the description. For each episode, I'll pick an important issue, outline the problem, talk about the solutions, and you can decide how you would vote. In this video, we'll be talking about whether it should be mandatory for organizations to report cyber incidents. Okay, if you're just looking for another talking head that isn't interested in actually doing anything, you're in the wrong place. If you want to be part of the solution, let's get into it.
So we certainly see Russia use cyber activity to destabilize and coerce, certainly with regard to Ukraine. With regard to the United States, from day one, the administration has been creating a sense of urgency to really address our digital defenses and making significant progress with the private sector in doing so. Today, as we look at the threat, you heard us recently, the president issued a statement, and we talked about the evolving threat intelligence of Russia's intention to potentially conduct cyber attacks against U.S. critical infrastructure, and how that is a call to action and a call to responsibility to do the things we can do to prevent them from being successful.
So the first question is, how serious is the cyber threat? One of the most high-profile examples of a cyber attack was the Colonial Pipeline attack in 2021. According to this article from Techtarget, Pipeline was a victim of a ransomware attack in May 2021. It infected some of the pipeline's digital systems, shutting it down for several days. The Colonial Pipeline comprises of more than 5,500 miles of pipeline. Okay, so what were the consequences of the ransomware attack? The shutdown affected consumers and airlines along the East Coast. The hack was deemed a national security threat as the pipeline moves oil from refineries to industry markets. This caused President Joe Biden to declare a state of emergency. So how much was the ransom, and was it paid? The goal for the attackers in a ransomware attack is to have the victim pay a ransom, which is exactly what Colonial Pipeline did. The dark side attackers asked for a ransom of 75 Bitcoin, which was worth approximately $4.4 million on May 7.
Beyond nation-state threats, we see limited reporting of criminal activity and ransom payments. In 2021 alone in the United States, there were over $1 billion in ransom payments made to criminal actors. That is preventable by CEOs really bringing together their leadership teams and walking through the set of practices, kind of like the fact sheet that was released with the president's statement. That set of practices, deploying technology almost as an alarm system on their networks and working across their sectors. That's message number one.
All right, so let's get clear about what this bill is proposing. The bill would require a wide range of companies responsible for U.S. critical infrastructure to report cybersecurity incidents to the Cyber and Infrastructure Security Agency. Okay, so these critical organizations will have to report the incident, but who will receive the report? The White House's statement late Thursday came just a day after senior leaders of the Justice Department and the FBI sharply criticized the bill for not requiring hack reports to go jointly to CISA and the Bureau. So if the objective of the bill is to report cyber incidents, you would think that the FBI would also receive the report. Deputy Attorney General Lisa Monaco said the legislation makes us less safe, and FBI Director Christopher Wray said the bill has some serious flaws. Okay, so this is my personal opinion on this issue. It's understandable that organizations don't want to report a cyber incident because it's embarrassing. The customers and partners of the organization will naturally start wondering whether this is a reflection of general incompetence, and they'll start asking themselves whether they should continue doing business with them. But we all know that the greater good is much more important than protecting the ego of one organization. If information about one cyber attack can help other organizations protect themselves from the same cyber attack, then it seems obvious that these cyber incidents should be reported to one central agency that can use the information to warn anybody else that might be vulnerable. If the FBI is the organization that will ultimately investigate the crime, then it seems pretty weird for the FBI to be left out of the loop. I've created a listing on the One Direct Democracy platform that we can use to develop ideas about how the Cyber Incident Reporting for Critical Infrastructure Act can be improved. You can add your own ideas or vote and comment on ideas from other people. You can also create your own listings for people to vote on. It's a simple way to get used to using the One Direct Democracy system. The link's in the description. So that's a summary of the key issues. If you could vote directly on this policy that requires critical infrastructure organizations to report cyber incidents, would you vote for it or against it? Let me know in the comments. The reality is that we've reached a point in time where representative democracy no longer serves the will of the people. That's why I created One Direct Democracy. It's a movement for upgrading the global democratic system by taking power away from politicians and putting it in the hands of the people by using direct democracy. I've created the technology, a framework for direct democracy, and a plan for how to make it happen. And we don't have to convince any politicians or powerful people to do anything to make it happen. We have the power to do it on our own. We just have to make a decision to do it. If you have no idea what I'm talking about, or you want more information about me or One Direct Democracy, check out the other videos on my channel and the links in the description. Direct democracy is the purest form of democracy. Representative democracy is an outdated, blunt instrument.